Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. My name is Stephen Boster, along with the one, the only Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
Hey, as you can tell, everybody, kind of excited today because we are going to be reviewing DC animated film. Just came out last October. I think it was announced at San Diego Comic-Con. They got to watch it, and then they released on video like a week or two later.
I think you might be right on that. I'm not on.
I'm right because I'm always right.
Oh, wow.
I'm just teasing everybody. I'm just teasing. I'm a little sleepy, so I'm a little funky. But hey, everybody, we're going to talk about this movie here in just a few moments. But I'm pretty excited. That's the main event for today. And then, but as you guys know, we kind of walk through kind of what's on our Geekdar, what's in Geeky News, and then we go into the main event. And then since it's a movie review, we're going to kind of give our non-spoilery score review, and then we kind of go into the details. And I'm pretty excited about this one. This is a good idea, Mike.
Thank you. I like Damien and Jonathan together. I think they're a good combo. So I was pretty excited when they announced this one.
Right. Agreed. So with that, let's go through this. This has been a full week for me. I haven't been done much outside of the thing. So I guess do we have geeky news that we need to go through?
I searched the geeky world over and didn't.
I searched the geeky world over and thought I found geeky news.
And I found pretty much. So yeah, I really have no geeky news. I mean, just nothing that I really felt was worth reporting. We got a lot of rumor and speculation going on.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that going on. So
there's a lot of that going on right now.
Right. It just nothing that I thought was newsworthy, really. And we all know the movie upcoming releases. We got Shazam in a few weeks.
Yes,
that's coming up. We've got Blue Beetle later this year, and of course the big one, The Flash, with as I like to call it, preferably, I'm Batman.
Right.
The I'm Batman movie. Yes,
right.
That's coming up. So those are the biggies. Right now,
superhero movies. Yes.
Yeah, we got a lot of superhero movies on deck. And then, of course, next week, the premiere of season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't wait for that. That looks incredible. I am so looking forward to that. And we will be doing pretty much weekly coverage of Mandalorian. So.
Right on. Good morning, Roger. Good morning, Brian. Good to have you guys here with us today. Yeah, also, I'm pretty excited. March, I think it's March, that we get John Wick 4. I
got to watch 2 and 3 still. I haven't watched 2 and 3 yet.
Right. I rewatched 3 this week.
Nice.
I took the holiday to rest, and so I sat there and watched Supersons, and I watched John Wick 4.
Gotcha.
Or 3, excuse me. I watched 3. Wow, I got to watch 4 before anybody else. No, I'm just
so what you're telling me is we're moving into Geekdar now, right?
Oh, yeah. Let's play our opener.
Well, you don't need that, Private. We're right here. Now, what is it? Now, what is it?
I'm having trouble with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all he's lost.
I'd never get tired of seeing that.
I don't. I love that. Just to let you know, I just realized just as we went live that I forgot to bring in our new clip. I have a new clip for our main event, and I forgot to bring it in. So,
that's all good.
We'll wait till next week. It'll wait for Mandalorian's.
We'll get it for Mandalorian. That sounds great.
All right. So yeah, moving on to Geekdar. I don't have a lot in Geekdar this week. I was kind of busy, but the thing that I wasn't, the thing I did spend most of my time on this week was XFL football. That's right, baby. Football continues in the spring with the XFL. Most of you who watch our show know that I am an NFL football fan. I am a Dallas Cowboys fan, longtime Dallas Cowboys fan since I was a kid. And in 2020, Vince McMahon tried to relaunch his XFL brand, and it only lasted, I think, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. And then it got killed by the pandemic. But we here in St. Louis had gotten a football team, professional football team with the XFL, the St. Louis Battlehawks, and St. Louis was super excited. We were the biggest market in the XFL. We watched more games than anybody in the country. We were the first stadium to start selling the upper bowl for tickets, which no other stadium had done that. So we had outsold all the other stadiums, and we're getting ready to do it again this year. So yeah, this past Saturday and Sunday, the XFL kicked off. Battlehawks played their first game. They won. I can't remember who they played, and I left my phone. Oh, dang it! I don't have my phone. Anyway, they beat the San Antonio Brahmas, and the second game was Thursday night, 8:00 game. That kind of sucked. That's late for me.
All right.
I pushed it after 10:00, and I'm going, man, it's time for bed. Come on. Anyway, we won the second game, and that one was against, now I can't think of the team. I cannot remember who it was. Anyway, we play our third game next Saturday, and that one I believe is against DC Commanders, if I remember. I'm still learning the team's names. It's kind of hard to remember.
That's all right.
But I'm
super excited. All I hear is womp 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 womp.
But your family is, right? They're into sports.
Family likes football. I don't know if they'll get into XFL or not. I'll have to ask. I'll see if.
I mean, if you're excited, if you like the NFL, you should enjoy the XFL. After all, XFL gives a chance for college players who didn't get drafted into the NFL. That gives them a second chance because then they can continue their football career where otherwise they'd just be done. That would be it.
Right.
So this gives them a chance to continue, hone their skills, and NFL scouts to continue scouting beyond college. It also gives a chance for NFL players who have left the NFL to kind of come back and still play the game for a while. So, I mean, it's a good thing for everybody. I've seen a lot of people kind of crapping on the XFL. Oh, it's not going to last. It's blah, blah, blah. It's mediocre. Well, first of all, it's not mediocre. Every game I watched was pretty exciting. The skill level right now, the teams just aren't gelling at the moment. You know, some of them are gelling more than others.
Well, because they're all new.
Exactly. They're brand new. They've only, they practiced for 3 months before this season, and this is their first time really playing together. So you got to give them some time, guys.
Right.
I mean, I see issues with the Battlehawks right now, but again, it's early. This is only their first few games, and they did win, so that's a plus.
It is a plus.
That's my Geekdar, XFL football. I'm super excited. Can't wait till March 12th for the St. Louis home opener. I will have tickets. Oh,
Yeah,
Roger
Roger confirmed.
Just went on sale, and St. Louis had the highest viewing of the week. Yeah, nice. And then also, Mike is going to get Steven skipped. Football? What? Sports? This is a geek news show. Well, you can geek out about sports. All right. Well, that's my geek dark.
Cool. Mine is only in the aspect that I'm prepping for John Wick 4. I love the John Wick universe. Absolutely adore it. The first one came out, and I can't tell you how many times I watched it. On video. I didn't go to. I only went to theater once. So, but 2 was good. 3 was better than 2. So I'm really.
You're starting to sound like an eye exam. Is 1 better or 2?
Right. Yeah. 2. Right. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about it coming out, and I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to John Wick 4. I really am. So I watched 3. I didn't go back to watch 1 nor 2 because I was like, no, let me go back to 3 because I already know what the storyline is. I'm trying to remember. Okay, what happened? And the excommunicado John Wick. It's like everyone's after John Wick, and so it was good. So I'm excited, and I'm excited about the cast. The cast for 4 just looks phenomenal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you've got Donnie Yen, who I've enjoyed Donnie Yen in a whole bunch of different films. He was in a series called Ip Man, and Ip Man is kind of the loose story of the guy who trained Bruce Lee. And so it was, it's based on a true story, but with license, if that makes sense.
Don't you think you're forgetting something about what Donnie Yen also was in? This little, movie, it's barely known, called Star Wars Rogue One.
Right.
I mean, you talk about me. Oh, you're talking sports. Well, the main geeky thing there is the fact that he was in a Star Wars film, and you just completely leave that out.
Right. I was getting there. No, I'm just kidding. No, I wasn't.
No, you forgot it.
What's funny is, in Star Wars, in Rogue One, he plays a blind, force-sensitive person.
Oh, I love that scene. I love that character.
And it almost looks like in John Wick 4, he's playing a guy who sort of seems blind, but not really force-sensitive person.
Oh, please tell me he says, the force is with me. I am one with the force is with me.
That would be hysterical, right? That would be awesome.
I would absolutely love it. I don't think they can get away with it, though.
I don't think they could. Well, I don't know. John Wick did get away with, I need guns. Lots of guns. Direct quote right out of The Matrix. So I kind of chuckled when I saw it in 3.
But that's one Keanu Reeves to another Keanu Reeves film. So I think that's a little easier to get away with. Yeah.
Maybe. But anyway, so it was fun.
Well, I've only seen the first John Wick film. I don't know how I passed over those movies, but somehow I did. And so recently, since 4 is coming out, I recently watched 1. I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. And I am collecting the Berserker comics, which is Keanu Reeves.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't find issues 3 and 4. So I have only read 1 and 2 because I can't read 3 and 4. And I don't want to read what I got afterwards till I find those. So I may have to go pick up the trade just came out last week. I may have to pick that up and just read the trade and then hold on to my singles and hold on to for possible collector's value or whatever. But from what I've seen of Berserker so far, John Wick is a total badass. Okay. Mm-hmm. Berserker is like John Wick on steroids.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah. He kind of makes John Wick look like a wimp.
That's interesting.
That's how tough the character is. And rumor has it there will be a movie. So stay tuned for that one.
Ooh, cool. Okay.
All right.
I'm down with that.
Ready to move on to the main event now?
Yes, we're 15 minutes in. Let's hit the main event.
All right.
It's time for the main event. Okay, everybody, here we are to discuss DC's latest animated film. It's Batman and Superman, Battle of the Supersons.
DC with another giant long title.
Right? Yeah, I kind of chuckled because I was like, well, really, it's not really Batman and Superman, but it, sort of. But I guess they did that just to get people to watch it.
Well, I mean, Batman and Superman come in and set it up. So you have the setup by the two of them, and you got to have the two heavy hitters, and then they're kind of back at the end to
round it out.
Yeah, round it out a little bit. So.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get the final with Jonathan and Damien. So
yep. All right. So everybody, here we go. We're going to do our non-spoilery kind of quick review with our score, and then we're going to kind of deep dive into the spoilerific territory. So before we do that, here's our non-spoiler review. All right, Mike, what kind of score? What's our scorecard for this one?
Let's go with Batarangs.
Batarangs. All right, we're back to Batarangs.
I like Batarangs.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all right.
Besides, it had a funny use in this film.
Yep. Okay. So, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So, I had heard about this movie. I've delved into a little bit of Damien and Jonathan, just here and there, not really heavily. Mainly in the deceased storyline, because the two of those characters play a pretty
that was good. Yeah, I enjoyed Deceased. Yeah,
amazed, and I'm looking forward to. I'm collecting right now Deceased, the god of the War of the Undead Gods. Looking forward to that. But so I know a little bit about their dynamic, and I like their dynamic together. They have a good friendship, a good bond, and I enjoy that. So when I heard about this movie, I was like, "Oh, I got to check this out. Yeah, this is going to be really cool." You get, like we said earlier, you get kind of set up with Batman and Superman, and Damien and Jonathan meet for the first time, which is a fun meeting. I enjoyed that a lot. I think there's a lot of heart to this film, a whole lot of heart to this film. And a lot, I've said before, I really like a family aspect, and I don't mean that it's family friendly. For the most part, this film is fairly family friendly.
Right.
Probably a little border for some younger viewers, because it gets kind of scary at some points. I could see for some really younger viewers, this could be a pretty scary film.
Okay.
We're talking probably preteen and on up. Anyway, but there is a family aspect in both Superman's family and a learning family aspect between Bruce Wayne and Damian Wayne. And I really love those dynamics. I think those are incredible dynamics, good storytelling there. So overall, I think this film had great storytelling, a lot of fun action, a lot of funny moments between Jonathan and Damien, and I would give it 9 out of 10 Batarangs.
Ooh, okay, 9 out of 10. All right.
I really enjoyed this one.
Okay, I actually I enjoyed it as well. I'm trying to think here. How do I want to say this? I give it 8 out of 10. Now, a strong 8 out of 10. Where it loses points for me,
it's like an 8+.
8+. There we go. 8+. I like that. Well, shoot, it's not really spoiler, because maybe it is a spoiler. It loses points for a certain spoiler item, so I better wait. I'll wait to tell you why I knocked off points for it, because
I am excited to hear that.
Yeah,
we have not discussed what we thought about this movie before.
No, hey, everybody, we do our best not to discuss, because that's what birthed Mike in the phrase "save it for the podcast."
Save it for the
We were
podcast.
talking about it, and Mike was like, "No,
Save it for the podcast.
save it for the podcast," kind of a thing.
Because we want those initial reactions on here, not on the phone.
Yeah. So overall, I thought the animation was top notch. It's probably the best animated DC film so far.
I think. Well, I don't know if I'd go so far. I think out of all the modern stuff, the more modern stuff, I think I would agree with you on that.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. There are some things that are computer animated, but yet still animated. So it's not like you're looking at like a computer. How do you say that nowadays? They used a computer to help them do animation. Let me put it that way, rather than say the term computer animated.
You would say that it doesn't look like Toy Story.
Yes, good stuff. Yeah.
Not that I'm knocking Toy Story. I'm not knocking.
We're just talking about look. Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Animation style.
Yes.
I agree with you. It's more of a 2D animation, and sometimes 2D animation, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it comes off better. It just depends on what the situation is, and so on.
Yep.
I think that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the introduction of Jonathan Kent, that it focused on that. Actually, I was surprised how much time it spent on that. But then I began to realize, well, we've really already been introduced to Damien Wayne. You know what I mean? And so I like how it spent a bulk of the first quarter easy of the film on Jonathan Kent, which was really good. And then brought them together, and then just happen chance, then what the villain that's introduced and that kind of a thing. So which makes sense for the Supersons to get together, and then and I loved their character arc. And I'm not going to go into more detail than that at the moment, but I really enjoy it. At the beginning, I didn't like it, but then I began to realize it was a character arc, and then I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Gotcha.
So very solid 8 out of 10. Is it worth renting? Yes. Is it worth buying? You're probably better off getting a subscription to HBO Max, because then you get more movies for a cheaper, for 1 month. Because that's what I did. I
think it depends on how big a DC fan are you. I mean,
yeah.
Are you a completist? Or I'm not a completist per se, but there are a lot of them that I want to actually own. So
I would not feel guilty owning it, even if I had HBO Max, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good.
I did buy it digitally. It digitally. So.
Yeah, it's good. It is good. So yeah. All right. There you have it, everybody. Trying to be as vague as possible to give our non-spoiler review without going into details, because it's hard for me to go non-spoiler reviews and stuff. The question is have you guys seen it? Have any of you out there seen it? And please comment below and let us know, because I'm interested to see who else out there is really watching the DC animated films. I think they've been really good. This didn't hit theaters though, if I remember right.
No. Most of the DC animated are straight to they're straight to
video.
Video.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that nowadays because it goes streaming, but it goes for paid streaming first, and then you go to your subscription based, which is still technically paid, but
I know what you mean. It's
really
for purchase,
right?
Rent, then it goes to the streaming services as part of streaming packages.
Right. Exactly.
I'm tracking.
Exactly.
I got you.
Okay. It gets confusing in this whole streaming world how to convey all that stuff. So
yes.
Should we move on to cast?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about the cast, everybody. This is a great cast.
I gotta say, okay, Jonathan Kent was voiced by Jack Dylan Grazer.
Wait, hang on a sec. It just dawned on me. We probably, if we hit cast, we'll probably start saying who's in it. Okay. Why don't we do the big plot summary and go ahead and give the whole plot? Do you have the plot summary up?
IMDb should have it. All right.
I'm not reinventing the wheel, everybody. Somebody already did a plot summary. Let's just use it.
All right. Storyline.
Lazy.
11-year-old Jonathan Kent discovers he has superpowers. Thus, the half Kryptonian gets thrusted into the complicated. Thank you. Why couldn't I say that word? World of superheroes and supervillains who are now under attack by a maleficent. Yeah, close enough. Alien force known as Starro. Next time you're reading. Against time, as Jonathan must join forces with assassin turned boy wonder Damien Wayne to rescue their fathers and save the planet by becoming the Supersons that they were destined to be.
Right on.
So yeah, that's the storyline.
So big picture story synopsis. We're in spoiler territory, right?
Yeah, we're in spoiler territory.
Okay. I know everyone's been just chomping at the bit to know why Steven gave it a lower score. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to know.
So,
although I don't think 8's a bad score, though.
8's not a bad score. My thing is once you've seen a Starro plot line, you've seen them all.
Okay, I get what you're saying there, and I think we'll discuss Starro as we go along. Okay, so obviously Starro is the big bad in this in this film.
So, Starro hitches a ride on baby Kal-El's ship while Krypton explodes, and then falls off while it's going into light speed. And
then ends up on the Justice League satellite at some point.
Eventually, yeah.
Right. So we kind of kicked it. Well, we kick it off there. We kick it off with kind of the origin of Superman, slightly retold, but not the whole throwing it in your face. And we learn everything that he landed on Earth to the Kents, and the Kents raised him. We didn't get a retelling of all that.
No, but they did do it. They introduced it on purpose, and the purpose was about a father-son relationship and how Jor-El was, hopes that Kal-El would have that opportunity, kind of a thing. Correct. And I thought that was nice. That was purposefully done, and it was good. Exactly.
It had purpose towards the story, which sometimes a lot of times, especially in the big tentpole films, the origin is only there to explain to hold the audience's hand, so that okay, this is how they became a superhero. And it's become a trope that every single superhero has to have his origin told in the beginning of the story. Now, you were talking about Damien earlier. I like the way Damien is just thrown into this. He is already established. It's already known. Damien is the son of Bruce Wayne. Damien is also the grandson to Ra's al Ghul and the son to Talia al Ghul. And he's basically a trained assassin. He's a preteen trained assassin.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt, people.
It's fun.
It is. It's fun.
It sets him up as a Robin real easy.
But we didn't get the whole origin. You just got little bits and pieces, nuggets to go, look, this is who he is.
We already got it in which film was it? Was it Batman and Robin?
Well, yeah, that was the 3-part series, Batman and Robin.
I
don't remember all the titles to the 3 movies, but we covered those too.
We did cover those, yeah.
Of course, I don't know if we had those on YouTube back then, but regardless, we covered them on audio, so you can go back and listen to those. Those are good movies too. I enjoy those, except that Robin kicks Deathstroke's butt, and I don't think that's
possible. Right.
That one lost points there for me, but maybe when Damien gets to Dick Grayson's, when he's more like the age of where Nightwing is, maybe then he's skilled enough to beat Deathstroke. But no, Deathstroke is the greatest assassin in the DC universe. No snotty nosed kid's gonna beat him. Anyway, sorry, we're not talking about that one.
That's right.
So yeah, we just get little bits and pieces and crumbles of who Damien is, and I like that. I like the way they just throw him in there. Boom, you just accept who Damien is. Okay, DC movies. James Gunn, if you were listening, which I wished you would, take a look at this. This is how a good DC film is done. Write it down. Take some notes.
Yeah.
You follow these examples, you could come up with a good tentpole live action film. Just follow these examples.
Just saying.
The dots are there. Just draw the lines.
Right. So we see where Clark Kent and Lois Lane, they have Jonathan. Batman, here's Damien. They get together. There's something that happens. We know that Starro is on the Justice League little satellite ship, whatever it's called, out, orbiting Earth, the orbiter, whatever. And then, if you don't know Starro, Starro's this big alien. If you haven't seen the Suicide Squad film.
The second one that James Gunn did, by the way.
Yeah. Introduced Starro, which is kind of funny. It's the same story every time. It's here's my little fish thing that's going to take over you, take over the world, mind control everybody.
It's the Borg.
Yeah. And
that's essentially what it is. It's the Borg.
Mm-hmm. And then,
of course, I think Starro actually was developed before the Borg was, because Starro's
been around.
Yeah, Starro's been around since the inception of the comic book Justice League. They were actually the first enemy that the comic book Justice League fought.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I always thought Starro was a lame villain, but I think James Gunn did make Starro work really well in Suicide Squad. Better than I thought he was going to, because I was like, are you kidding me? Starro? Really? Why would you bring Starro in? But I think it worked well. And again, for this storyline, I thought it worked well. And honestly, I thought there was more of a horror aspect of this one. That was kind of eerie.
There were horror elements to it. Yes.
Right. And it actually made Starro much more intense, much more better.
Much more better. Cheers, everybody. Very nice. Very well played.
In my opinion, you're taking an old, worn out character, and I think you gave it a little bit new life, in my opinion.
Right.
So now I don't want to see him a whole bunch more times.
Exactly.
I don't need him much more, but I thought it worked really well for this storyline. I thought it was a good way to bring Jonathan and Damien together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Agreed. Yeah. So then they do the battle, and then they end up having to fight their dads, and then they switch, which was good. That was kind of fun. Let's switch.
That
dads.
Was I knocked out Batman.
Right.
Well, you are Superman's son, so
right.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Of course, he is just learning his powers and stuff like that.
And they did a really good job with it too, kind of a thing. So yeah.
Now wait, I love their meeting. I love it when so in the beginning, Jonathan is upset because his dad Clark is missing a lot of his life. Clark is really busy, and he doesn't realize that Clark is Superman. He doesn't realize that his dad is Superman at this point. And so he's just really down and out because he missed the baseball game. He struck out at the baseball game, and people are making fun of him, and he's just having a rotten day as a kid, And he in frustration runs off, and while running through the wheat field, cornfield, whatever, they're in, on the Kent farm.
If he's in Kansas, that's probably a cornfield.
Yeah, sure. It didn't really look like corn, but I mean, it still could be wheat too. Anyway, he
Wait, did you say weed? I'm just teasing.
I don't know. They passed the law yet? Because it could be. Who knows? Tank corn. It's dope. Anyway. So he inadvertently basically sets the silo on fire with his heat vision. And he had no idea he had powers. Now he's really freaking out because, he doesn't know what's going on. And he's cowering and crying in the barn. And you hear Clark Kent say, "Son," he's like, "Not now, Dad. You don't understand." And then you kind of see the feet of Superman floating in the air at this point. And you hear him go, "Son, I think I would understand more than you think I do." And Jonathan turns around and sees his dad in the super suit, still with glasses, though.
Right.
He was still wearing the glasses.
Which is always the funniest thing. Like a pair of glasses, people can't tell who you are.
Yeah, glasses just throws you completely off. But regardless, he's still wearing the glasses. And then all of a sudden, Jonathan's like, "What? My dad is Superman?" Yeah, his day goes from being His day goes from being total crap to the greatest day ever happened to him. So that was so.
It was good. It was good.
Great. It was a good father and son moment, a good father and son bonding. Because then he takes him out, flies him, and we have the moment next to the airplane that was hilarious too, where the little girl's like, "Oh, Superman's by the airplane with a kid on his back,"
right?
Which was great.
It was fun. Yeah. So it was good.
Then Superman takes Jonathan to Gotham, which is hilarious because they're flying near Gotham, and all of a sudden Jonathan goes, "Ooh, what's that smell?" And he goes, "Gotham."
Yeah. You're right.
You know what it reminded me of? So years ago, I used to work for a truck repair place down in downtown St. Louis. And I remember right after I started there, I took my friend Jason. I was off on the weekends. I drove my friend Jason over there just to show him where I worked, right? Which is not the best place in town, by the way.
It is not.
And I can remember crossing the bridge and getting closer to the shop, and Jason goes, "Man, what's that smell?"
Right.
It was almost just like that scene. It was so funny. I was like,
"Welcome to the city."
Right. Welcome to exactly. So they all compare Gotham to Chicago, but maybe there's some aspects that were St. Louis too.
Yep.
So anyway, Superman takes him to the Batcave.
Yeah.
And I love how Jonathan geeks out even more about meeting Batman than the fact that his dad is Superman.
Right.
I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I was like, this is awesome. And he's just running around, bat this, bat that, bat, blah, blah, blah. And then we get introduced to Damien. And, oh, yeah, who's Mr. Obvious over there?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Who's that?" and they're like, "Well, this is Bruce's or Batman's son, Damien." And then Damien starts messing with him, and that's just, I love it, because then they're testing him to see if he's got any more powers, because he's only got a few things that are showing so far, and they're trying to figure out if he has the same type of powers as Superman. And Batman and Superman are discussing it, and Batman says, "Well, it may have to be some kind of traumatic event that triggers the rest of his powers." And Damien goes, "Let's test that," and pushes him down the Batcave.
Right. I was like, "What?"
It was so funny.
It was good.
Superman saves him, brings him back, and Superman was very gracious to Damien, considering he just tried to kill his son. And then they're like, Damien, you can't do that, and kind of chastising him and everything. And he's like, fine. And then he throws the batarang right at his head, and Jonathan goes, ow! And he goes, well, he's obviously not invulnerable.
Right.
This was one of those stories that I love Damien. I thought he was great.
Right.
He just works.
Yeah. It was good. So, well, let's talk about the cast. We've kind of introduced some of the folks. And so, I would like to talk about the voice acting as part of this. And
I agree.
Your opinion on this.
So we had Jack Dylan Grazer playing Jonathan Kent. I thought he did a fabulous job.
He is the kid in Shazam that plays the friend, the friend that had the crutch and all that.
You've got bullet immunity,
right?
Which that actually kind of comes into play in this too. That line is almost used in this movie too. That was one of my favorite lines in Shazam, by the way. You've got bullet immunity.
We quote that all the time.
What was that, Megan?
I said you and I quote that all the time.
Oh yeah, that's great. I mean, it's so much. We're so used to he's bulletproof. No, he's got bullet immunity.
Yep.
All right, so we have Jack Griffio voicing Damian Wayne again. Did a great job. I really liked the voice of Damien. Laura Bailey playing Lois Lane. Another really good one. She's very impressive.
She's a voice actor. She's also part of Critical Role. Which
is she? I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
And the Superman who plays Superman, so her husband on the show, Travis Willingham, is also Critical Role and is also her real life husband.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes.
Well, perfect dynamic there. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, Travis Willingham played Superman. We got Troy Baker voicing Batman. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Darren DePaul voicing Lex Luthor.
He's voice actor. He's done a whole bunch of stuff. Yes.
Tom Kenny plays Green Arrow. For what little Green Arrow we got, I thought he did a good job.
Yeah. He's also the voice of Tom Kenny's the voice of SpongeBob.
That's right. You were telling me that before we started.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny that SpongeBob is Green Arrow.
Yeah. Or let me say the original SpongeBob. Let me put it that way. The original series. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Did they change voice actors?
I'm not for sure. I just know for sure that he was in the original series. So
gotcha. All right. We got Nolan North playing Jor-El.
Nolan North, my favorite voice actor from the Uncharted video game series. He plays the main good guy. What's the word? Protagonist. Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series, and he's really good.
Okay. We got Zeno Robinson playing Jimmy Olsen. He was okay. He was all right.
There wasn't a whole lot for.
No, Jimmy was barely.
Jimmy.
there was a couple funny moments between him and Lois, though, that I did enjoy that. I gotta say,
yeah,
it was fun. And that's the main cast right there. So yeah, I wanted to come back to Troy Baker voicing Batman. I mean, we have to address the elephant in the room, right? So I thought he did a good job. Nobody is going to be Kevin Conroy.
For Batman?
Yeah.
Right.
You're always going to come second fiddle to Kevin Conroy. To me, Kevin Conroy will always be the voice of Batman. Always. So, but I thought he was a good replacement. I don't know if I can really call him a replacement or not, but a good alternative.
He is a great voice actor. He really is. And he's voiced he's voiced Batman in several of the Batman movies, games.
Right. Yeah, I know this isn't his first run under.
It's not his first rodeo.
Not his first bat cave or Batmobile or whatever.
Right.
He's trying to think of some kind of Batism to use. I like him. He's good. I just, I prefer Kevin, but we won't be getting Kevin back at all. So I have to move on, unfortunately. And I think he does a fairly good Batman. I was pretty impressed with him. So if they use him more, I think I'll be happy with it going forward. So, okay. All right. I'm open for it.
Yeah. I was trying to see what else he was in or what he's done.
I thought he had good chemistry with Travis Willingham. I thought they did well.
Yes. Yeah. And that's a good point. I think the connection between all the different voice actors seemed to flow well. Nothing really seemed to be weird or awkward, except maybe Jimmy Olsen. But
yeah,
there wasn't a whole lot with Jimmy Olsen anyway. And it was almost, you could actually do the whole movie without Jimmy Olsen. And what was weird for me because it just wasn't integral. It's just we'll just throw Jimmy Olsen in there.
You're right. He didn't have much a part. But the two pieces that he had were pretty humorous pieces. So I'm willing to give it up for that character just because they were funny enough. But you're right. We could have had the complete movie without him. So yeah, we have Lois again. Spoilers. We have Lois. She got infected by Starro. That was great, by the way. So she gets infected by Starro. She comes after Jonathan, who Damien is going to retrieve Jonathan because he realizes what's happened. And Jonathan's basically the only quote unquote superhero left that hasn't been taken over. So he's like, great, I got to team up with him, Right. So he goes to get him at school. And then all of a sudden Lois starts coming down the hall and he goes,
that was creepy.
Yeah. And it was funny. Damien goes, she's been compromised. And he goes, no, you don't know my mom. Nobody can compromise my mom. And then she starts going, come here, Damien, and give me a hug. And he goes, you're right. My mom's been compromised.
Right.
So she starts chasing him down. Okay. Now, all right. Here's a little bit unbelievable thing about Damien. He flies the bat or quote unquote Batwing. I'm like, really? You're just a kid. How are you flying the Batwing? But anyway, I guess when you're an assassin and at 11 years old,
it all rolls together. Yes.
Your dad's the Batman and your grandfather's Ra's al Ghul. I guess you can fly a plane. But anyway, so they take off in the Batwing, and her kind of sort of having superpowers because she's been empowered by Starro, jumps onto the top of the bat plane, and Damien goes, well, use your heat vision and kill her.
Right.
Kill my mom.
Yep.
I just love Damien's thinking there. I just kill her.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't opposed to killing Batman either.
Right.
Who is his father, by the way. So, yeah, Damien was great in this. I really enjoyed it.
It really was. Yeah.
But, yeah, so we had that moment, and then she basically Jonathan shoots the Starro off of her and more or less and drops her in a pond. So she comes to and she's okay. So now she's trying to figure out how she can get the message out to the world. And she goes to Jimmy. And the first thing she does to Jimmy, she's like, open your mouth. And she's got a pair of scissors. Right. And Jimmy's scared crapless. Like she's going to kill him. So that was a funny moment. And then we have the moment when at the end, I won't give away totally what happens, but basically the Starros are dying. And Jimmy doesn't really know what's happening. And he grabs a stapler and he shoots a stapler at one of them. And they all just happen to die at that time. And he thinks the stapler killed it.
Right. I'm a stapler. Where's my stapler?
Where's my
You've seen Office Space. Where's my stapler?
I'm looking for my red stapler.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. How did you like the soundtrack to it and music and sound effects? What did you think? I thought it was great.
I'll be honest. I didn't pay a lot of attention to the music in this. I gotta say, DC animated films, a lot of times, I mean, barring Batman animated, of course. Batman animated has beautiful music. It's incredible.
The Denny series, Paul Denny series one. Okay, the original. Yes,
that's just
fabulous,
amazing music.
Yeah.
But these latest movies, a lot of times, I don't even notice the music in them.
Oh, okay.
I really don't. Sound effects were great. Everything in it sounded fine. Sounded like,
I felt immersed in it. Like everything seemed to,
agree.
Kind of bring me into the film more, if that makes sense.
Yes, I agree.
You know how some people say, "Oh, that happened and it just brought me out of the film," kind of a thing. I would say just, and maybe that's part of it where you're saying, you didn't notice because you were already brought into the film, and that's probably why you didn't notice as much.
Could be.
I love soundtracks, so I'm already kind of attuned to it a little bit.
I do too. Especially Star Wars soundtracks; those are my all-time favorites right there. But I absolutely love like the Danny Elfman Batman soundtrack. That's amazing stuff there. And
that's Danny Elfman. I mean, he's on a whole new level.
But my other favorite is John Williams. So John Williams, quite arguably the greatest composer of our time. I'm not going to say all time, not all time, our time.
I don't know, even our time. I don't know if I put him in there or not. He is a great composer, though. He's a great composer.
He's had more movie soundtracks, more successful movie soundtracks than anybody you could name.
I don't know. Hans Zimmer is up there.
I hate Hans Zimmer.
I know. I'm not. I'm saying is,
I'll give you an example
a whole bunch.
I'll give you an example of me listening to Hans Zimmer superhero films. I hate Hans Zimmer's soundtracks. I hate them.
But all I'm saying is though it's has
white noise.
Yeah, but he has a lot of awards and stuff as well. So I mean, John Williams is good. Don't get me wrong. Hans Zimmer's
John
up
Williams
there.
has done some of our most iconic.
Yeah, but he's also 90. He's 91 years old. He was there in 77. He's had longer in the field than all the rest of them.
Well, yeah, and he's had more because he's the best. Everyone seeks him out. Come on, he's done E.T., he's done Jaws, he's done Superman, he's done Raiders of the Lost Ark. He did the first of the Harry Potter films. I can't even think of everything he's done. He's just done so much stuff. And then that doesn't include the 9 Star Wars soundtracks, which, by the way, even if I didn't like the Star Wars movie, I still loved the soundtrack.
Right.
It's not very often I'll go back to a soundtrack of a movie that I wasn't that fond of. In fact, I hate The Last Jedi, but I love The Last Jedi soundtrack. It's amazing. It really is. And they do have an option on The Last Jedi Blu-ray or DVD or
it's music only.
Yeah, where you can shut off the entire voice track of the film.
That's awesome.
You can watch the film and listen to the music.
Yeah, actually, I've never done that, and that actually sounds intriguing.
It's probably a better way to watch The Last Jedi.
Probably. In all fairness, probably.
Only way to watch The Last Jedi. Yeah, just go turn the music track on so you don't have to hear the crap that they talk.
Right. All right. Back to Batman. And Superman Sons.
It always divulges into that, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, overall, I thought the cast was really good in this.
It was really good. I was
very impressed with them.
Very worth seeing. If you had to sum up the main theme of the film, what would you sum it up as?
Friendship.
I would. In the beginning, I would have stated family. You know what I'm saying? Halfway through, I would have definitely stated family. But
Agreed.
the greatest character arc of the whole film is the two Supersons coming together and liking to hang out together, if that makes sense. Because they ended it with, the whole thing about Teen Titans. Damian Wayne was trying to get with the Teen Titans kind of a thing. And then they were like, well, you saved the world so you can join us now. And he was like, nah, kind of a thing. Because I think he loved the team up. And I like it because, Superman and Batman do not really team up. If that makes sense.
That was a great moment also when the two sons go off together and Superman looks at Batman and goes, kind of reminds you of us when we first met. And Batman goes, nah, I was nicer than him.
All right. So I agree with you. Friendship is a great theme for this movie.
I think you're right, though. In the beginning, it started off family because we had the entire family dynamic of the House of L. We had Jor-El and I always forget his mother's name.
His
Jor-El,
wife. Yeah, his wife.
I should know this. I really, really should know this, but
that's all right.
But we get that whole family dynamic there, and then we get the family dynamic with the Kents on the Kent farm, and then we get a family dynamic between Batman and Damien too, which is really good. And there's even this almost moment of where Clark is kind of mentoring Bruce as a father, which I had a slight issue with that because I'm like, nah, if you think about this, he's been a father all along. He's been a father to Dick Grayson. He's been a father to Jason Todd. Granted, that was a failing relationship there. He's been a father to Timothy Drake. It could be arguable there too, some aspects of that. So, he's been a father, but I guess this is a much different dynamic than either of those three. But so you get that moment between fathers of sharing fatherly advice. So I get what you're saying. There is a family aspect to this too, which I said that in the beginning. That's one of the things I like it. But I think the overall theme is friendship. That's what I think it is. It comes down to, it boils down to Jonathan and Damien and how they're so complete opposite of each other, and yet they can make that work and become really close friends.
Yep. So overall, for all this, it was worth seeing. It really was. And all you guys know, I'm pretty picky about where I spend my time nowadays and stuff. And so it was worth seeing. Absolutely.
Okay. Now got to ask the inevitable.
Yeah.
Were there any Steven skips?
No Steven skips whatsoever.
Nice. That there says a lot about the film.
Yep.
If you did not
I didn't Steven skip any of it. I did pause it because I had been working a long time and I was like, I started falling asleep, but that wasn't about the film. That wasn't the film itself. That was just me personally, because I didn't skip anything and I picked it right back up. I was like, let me pause this for a little bit.
Sure.
And then,
that makes sense. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not actually missing anything that way. So, but if you're Steven skipping, that means you're bored or you're upset or, there's something happening you don't like.
Yeah, been there, done that. Now, when I saw Starro, I was like, I've already seen the, kind of a thing. That's why that's why I knocked it down just a wee bit.
That's why I say I did like that they kind of gave Starro a little more of a horror aspect to this.
That's true.
And it kind of made him a little more interesting in that fact.
I will agree, because it did reminisce when we saw some of the little Starros came out of people. It was very reminiscent of some of the Justice League Dark stuff that we watched.
Yes.
So I would agree with you on that. Yes.
So yeah, I will go back to, if you get any little ones, you might want to avoid this one with them, because it just might be a little intense for them.
Yep. Agreed.
And there isn't a bad word, but there is a bad word insinuated.
There is. That's right.
Lois Lane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jonathan effing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, whoops. So,
right. Yeah. I was a little surprised to hear Lois say that, but other than that, yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. It's kind of like, it kind of reminded me of a little bit of the end of the one Spider-Man movie where where Aunt May sees
what the
right. Right.
Yeah. It was kind of that moment too.
It was. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So overall, I think this is a great animated film. If you're into DC, you're into DC animated films, definitely check this one out. Put it on your list. Definitely check it out.
Where's my stapler?
I gotta get my underwear. Gotta get my underwear from Kmart. There's on 4. Sorry.
Right. That's awesome. All right. Well, there you go, everybody. Hey, real quick, thanks for joining us here on the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. I just want to let everybody know that we actually have a really cool thing going on with Audible. If you've never checked out Audible, I encourage you to do so. And with our link, www.audibletrial.com/2geeks, TWOGEEKS, 2 Geeks. The cool thing is you can get a free audiobook. It's kind of like a free 30 days. So you get an audiobook for free to check it out. I love some of the ones I've listened to that I really enjoyed have been like the Star Wars Shakespeare series, because it's like retelling the movies in Shakespearean framework. And we've had Ian Desher, the author, on the show. But those are actually really good audiobooks. They really are. Music, sound effects, the whole bit. It's great. And, but they've got murder mysteries. They've got thrillers. They've got adventure, action, comedy, drama. And on top of that, you also get 30 days. Part of that 30 days, you get part of the Audible Plus catalog, which are all free books. They're free audiobooks. And some classics like 1984 with George Orwell, all these really good Jane Austen ones and stuff. So it's really neat to kind of check it out. Plus, if you're a Prime member, I think you get 2 credits. So, and if you continue, it's $14.95 per month for 1 credit, and you can pick any audiobook. There's some audiobooks that retail value from $9 all the way up to $40. But yet with that 1 credit you paid $14.95 for, you can get an audiobook. So it doesn't matter what the retail cost is. So, which is pretty cool. So please check them out. There's just hundreds of thousands of just titles. That's an exaggeration. There's tens of thousands. But please check it out at audibletrial.com/2geeks. If you do sign up, it does help us out with the show a little bit as well. Plus, in the link, just so you know, we use StreamYard for our streaming, and you can do recording. You can do all kinds of things with it. They actually have free trials, and actually there's a free version that you can check out. So just follow the link in the description also for just a little bit more information about StreamYard. And we've got some people who have actually signed up because it is just a great tool. It's really neat. So I've enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yes, I have too. StreamYard has been a good tool for us.
Yep. All right. Well, it's all you, my friend. Anything else?
I didn't want to interrupt you during your Audible plug, but you said murder wrong. You're supposed to say it like our friends Jeff and Zig over at Nerdery and Murdery. Murder.
That's right.
You haven't checked out Jeff and Zig, check out Nerdery and Murdery. Great podcast, two great guys. We love their stuff.
And hey, the Three Geeky Dads now have Audible trial.
Oh, nice! Thank you.
I was starting to listen to their latest episode, Clash of the Titans.
I'm behind on Three Geeky Dads. I got to get caught up. I think I'm just getting into January right now, so I'm like really behind. Please don't hate me. I will catch up, guys. I promise. Awesome. All right. So with that said, if you made it this far, please make sure and go and like and subscribe to us. Smash that like button. Give that little bell a tickle. It helps the YouTube algorithm. We got some really good views on our last episode too, by the way. So thank everyone for doing that, for watching that.
For hanging out with us.
Hope you enjoyed our spectacular review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, where Megan and Theron pretty much went head to head in the main event.
Right.
It was quite unexpected, and I think Theron was thrown back and didn't realize what he was getting into at that moment. But it was
he
fun.
did great though.
Yes, he did. Everyone did great on that episode. It was a lot of fun. So just thank you guys for liking and subscribing. Make sure and follow us on Facebook. I try and post a lot of funny memes up there, and of course you'll get any information of upcoming episodes and things that we're doing on there. So with that said, hold on, I'm looking for our.
Hey, well, with that said, everybody.
What did I do?
I don't know what you did. That was pretty funny.
I not only went for my outro, I just decided to just go out. Weird. Sorry about that, everyone. All right. With that said, over and out. And I had something in my head, but it went away. Truth, justice, and the American way. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
may the force be with you.